I just want to say to all the ladies out there, welcome to our podcast. My name is NJ. Dude, I'm not gonna do that intro. Fuck,
That is a really disturbing intro.
that is way too disturbing.
Yeah.
This is way too disturbing. Hello, my name is NJ. Is that too racist?
Now I'll have your volume a little lower in my room.
Dude, I wonder what your roommates think whenever I'm on the phone with you.
You know what? I can connect my headphones so that I can hear you.
No, I think that's good though. No, don't do that. Why would you do that? Why would you do
Because
that?
it's to some extent I do need to censor you sometimes.
Really? Are your roommates gonna get really mad?
No.
What did I say? What have I said that you're like, oh, I don't think my roommates want to.
I don't think they get mad, but they'd be surprised.
They'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Really? They're like, oh, your friend has a red hat, huh? Your friend's one of those guys, huh? He stormed the Capitol. Is that your drink? No, that's just water.
This is water. Yeah.
It's just water. Wait, you gotta show
Were you recording already when you showed your drink?
No, I wasn't. You gotta show your drink. You gotta show your drink, not that drink. So we decided for this episode that we were gonna have our. And it says igloo. Oh, he has the nice one. I have this is orange juice with vodka in it. So
And
you have the really nice one.
And this is just bourbon.
That's just bourbon.
Yep.
You drink
with one ice cube.
I didn't know that you drank bourbon.
I like it. It's probably my favorite hard liquor.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Do you like the really expensive ones? Are you one of those guys who drinks bourbon at like 9 a.m. and you're like, I'm gonna tackle the day today.
Contemplating like what it is that my kids don't call me back for because I'm that depressed.
Hey, you did say that you wanted kids. You texted me randomly last night and you were like, dude, I want kids. And I've never had that text from you ever. All right.
Long term, I do want kids. And last night I just was feeling that emotion a lot.
Yeah.
Random thought. It was a random thought that I only shared with one person, and that was you.
Yeah, we're gonna cut that out. We're gonna cut that out. Can you imagine? Oh my god.
I had a wet dream last night, NJ.
I had a wet dream about my cousin. It's just the worst, terrible thing.
It was so memorable. Like it was it made me think, wouldn't it be crazy if you and I, it's never mind.
Wouldn't it be bananas if we we don't have to, but wouldn't it be nuts though if you and I showed each other's penises on camera? That would be crazy. That would be crazy, right? We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. Not on episode 2. Oh,
not yet.
Episode 2, man.
That's like 100th episode special.
That's the 100th episode special. We just start off and our penises are right there in the camera.
It's the perfect symbol because it's 1 and then 0 0.
What is symbol of what?
Never mind.
Symbol of what? A symbol of my penis. I thought you were making
1 0 0. Right. 100.
Oh, 100.
Yeah.
Oh, 100th episode. Oh, that took a while, dude. That took a while. But then it's if we showed both our dicks, it's 100,000 100. So there's only one dick that's gonna be shown, and we're gonna nose goes on that one. Nose goes on that one. Hey, we learned a lot from our first episode.
Yeah, we shouldn't always assume that everyone knows who we are.
Yeah,
so we should probably introduce ourselves.
Yeah, I think we walked in the first episode thinking we're George Clooney and Brad Pitt, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, is that Bryan and NJ?" Yeah. So welcome to Boys on the Edge, episode 2. Man, I didn't.
The edge of what? They may be asking.
The edge of what? The edge of everything. We're on the edge. We're on edge. Okay, that sounds like I'm gonna.
It just sounds like you're angry.
I'm on edge, man. I'm on edge. How are you doing? I'm on edge.
That's like that's that segment from Family Guy
Mhm.
about you know what really grinds my gears.
Wait, didn't we talk about that? Didn't I tell you? Hey, what really? You know what really grinds my gears? And for the longest time, I would just say the stupidest things. You know what really grinds my gears? Lines at coffee. Dude. Okay, you know what really fucking grinds my gears though? Like just thinking about that
Is
fucking train.
this are we going like straight into this material now?
Yeah, that fucking train really grinds my gears. That pissed me off so much. It still pisses me off
That's
thinking about
that's
it.
why I was thinking about it because he's telling me what grinds his gears. He just didn't say that exactly.
Yeah, yeah, that grinds my gears. And oh, fuck. Okay, people, people who. Here's the thing that really pisses me off. Okay, people who like see something that is kind of weird, and then they look at you as if like, what do you think? Like, dude, I'm not with you. Like, we're not together. We're just here at the same fucking place. I don't need to give you my input, right? And they're like, this guy, and I'm like, no, I don't want to. I want to talk to you.
You're telling me about how you want to remain indifferent to what happens in society around you.
Yes, I do. Like if I'm in a line at a coffee and some crazy chick comes in and is like naked and is like, oh my god, Jesus is coming, right? Like I don't want anybody, like there's already something crazy happening in front of me. I don't want anybody else to be like, check out this woman. Like I just want to get my coffee and get out of the situation. That grinds my gears. People who want to interact with me to see my reaction to a situation.
Sounds like you're pretty on edge.
Get it?
And that's
Get
and
it?
that's the end of segment one.
Yeah.
Now NJ gets Bryan back.
What? Yeah. So we learned a lot. So we learned that. Okay, I'm gonna introduce myself first, and then you're gonna introduce.
Okay,
Me.
so yeah, these are the start of the introductions now.
Yes. So my name is NJ. I'm co-host for Boys on Edge.
I'm Bryan. I am the other co-host for the Boys on the Edge.
Dude, that was really fucking slow. Like that was like I don't even know what time. You're like in Alabama time right now. That was backwards. I had to point to you. We literally just talked about this. Like,
I'm sorry, dude.
Like literally seconds before I said I'm gonna introduce myself, and then I introduced myself, and then you looked at me like
I'm sorry.
it's like when your mom tries to teach you something, and then you're like, I get it. And then she asks you like 30 seconds later, and then you're like, I don't fucking get it. And she like beats the shit out of you.
I think I need to relax.
You need to relax. Yeah. I think you need to have a drink, dude. I think you need to have a drink. So yeah, anyways, feedback. People were giving us feedback about the first episode. And people were talking about our mics. Yeah, people talked about some people were very, very very nice.
Very, very nice.
Very nice or very on the edge of being an asshole. They talked about my hair. Like someone, I'm not gonna say who it is. Like if you watch this, you'll know who you are. Someone said that my hair in the first episode, like look like my peak here looks like the bat signal. And that got to me, dude. I'm like, yeah, that gets to me. Like things like that.
Really, I kind of see it, but
shut the fuck up. Not see it.
I'm kidding.
Shut the fuck up, dude.
Did you see the new Batman?
I have not seen the new. I know I told you I was gonna see it, but I didn't see it. I instead of watching, I ended up watching LiveLeaks because that was.
I think it is worth the wait.
Is it?
Yeah, and it was worth that, and I think it was worth the hype too.
Okay, so this new Batman movie, is it as dark and as edgy as the old Batman movie, like the Christian Bale ones?
Yeah, honestly, it didn't take anything away from it took the element of Batman obviously from other movies where he's a presence in the night. This time it went a bit more into his personal life like what was happening, like 2 years after he became Batman.
Okay.
How he's starting to process everything. It's really hard to explain why I love this interpretation of Batman so much without spoiling the movie. If I'm being honest, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of like new stuff that I feel like I've never seen in other Batman movies that added a lot to. Okay, I'm like Robert Pattinson. Like I thought his acting was really great. I can say that for sure. Like that doesn't spoil anything.
Okay.
He definitely has made the transition from, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, when he was
Edward Cullen.
Edward Cullen.
Dude, there's a generation of girls out there that still like they still do it thinking about Edward Cullen.
I was gonna say like the teen boy idol transitioning into like a grown-up adult movie. And he started doing that a while back, but now it's funny how, like, I guess as kids, did you ever like not like hate Robert Pattinson, but you didn't like him because girls really liked him?
Yes. I was very against Twilight, dude. I was very against Twilight. You
were against like any like showing affection of Edward Cullen, right?
Yeah, and then Jacob. I didn't like Jacob either because every girl was like, "Oh my god, he's so hot and so muscular," and I'm like, "Fuck you guys!" Like I'm real. He's not.
But isn't So that's what I'm saying. Like we didn't hate like the actor, but we hated like like the image from like that from the movies, right?
Sure.
And
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like we were also jealous to some degree.
Okay, but now he's Batman, and
now like I'm jealous.
And the girls will love him more.
Now I'm jealous for a brand new reason, and I actually like him.
Okay, so you would recommend watching it?
Yeah,
you would recommend watching. Okay, because the Batman, because the only Batman movies I've seen are the Christian Bale ones. And
you didn't see the old ones?
I haven't seen the old one. I've seen clips of it. I vaguely remember watching clips of the old Batman, and I just remember Poison Ivy because I had a big fat crush on Poison Ivy when I was a kid, and I vaguely remember her, and I think that was what really, really turned on. That was my first like sexual feeling as a kid. You know how like you have your firsts, but that would be the one that I would remember. Like Poison Ivy, she was in green, and she was surrounded by like leaves, and I was like, oh my god, this girl is smoking hot. But I don't remember Batman. I just remember Poison Ivy.
I feel like you only told me this story just so that you could mention the first time you ever felt horny.
my dick kind of like and I was like, what is this, dude?
He unwrapped
for the very first time. I think that was what does it, because it's so weird because it's like a memory that stuck with me. It's like sometimes I'd be driving and then I'm like, Poison Ivy's really hot, and then I'm like, where did that come from? It's just that whole thing was just weird. That was the whole thing, but I didn't watch it because I spent most of my night watching LiveLeak and just going through.
I definitely recommend that whoever hasn't seen it should go out and see it.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
Yeah,
for a DC superhero movie that has had a really bad last 4 or 5 years, and like they're just now like starting to figure some stuff out. This is a good addition.
Okay, so you would recommend it. Okay, so people,
yeah.
I don't want to give my recommendation, but I trust Bryan's recommendation. So I trust him that he's telling you that it's a good movie. So go watch it. Go watch. We're making them a lot of money right now. All the people that are watching this, oh my god. Yeah, dude. I don't know. That LiveLeak is kind of like my guilty pleasure. Yeah, dude. Okay. Kind of a change of topic, but do you about what's going on in Ukraine? Like, have you seen the videos?
To be honest, it's hard for me to watch some of them. There are people I follow on Instagram who have family in Ukraine, actually. So that's where if I've seen a video, that's where I've seen it. And then reports that are like big headline news. I'm not saying that I'm ignoring it, but I try not to watch too much of it.
Dude, yeah, it's
And
crazy.
that's something I do want to talk about. Like, is it okay as someone who, is just like a bystander, like who's someone who's like watching this happening from, our position, for example? Is it okay sometimes to tune it out?
Okay, so tune it out. What do you mean
Mhm.
by tune it out? Like it doesn't
Like,
it's not happening.
people ask you like, what do you think about it? And I bet for some people, an honest answer would be, I literally have given that zero thought because I'm thinking about work, my family, my
Mhm.
job. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's okay. So I think,
And we are actually going to talk about like what's the war and like what's
yeah.
happening in Ukraine, but we're just going to cover this point first.
So I think it's a normal thing. Dude, okay, so this kind of reminded me. So when I was a kid, I was in the Philippines, and I lived in the Philippines for like 11 years of my life. And I vaguely remember when I was like 10, my parents and I were crossing this like sidewalk, and my grandparents were there too. And this dude was just beating the shit out of this girl, like beating the crap out of her. And he was saying like, "Oh, why did you give me gonorrhea?" But it was in Filipino. And he's like, "Oh my god, you gave me the drip." And then he was like punching her. And people, they would like, you can see that they were like looking, but zero people stopped to do anything. It's like like you'd think, right? You'd think that like if you saw someone getting like beat up, people would be like, "Oh
There
yeah,
was what's
we're
the
gonna."
word? There was no good Samaritan.
There was no zero good Samaritan. There was a dude that kind of like looked because they were down the hill, right?
Mm-hmm.
Down the sidewalk. There was a dude that looked, and this is what he did. He goes, and I was like, how does that help? How does that help at all? So
Standing there in indecision. That's
yeah,
that's
I
what he
think,
did.
and if you think about it, like, what can you do?
I mean, it depends on what like you're comfortable going to the extreme for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, what can you do in terms of like, if we talk about it, cool. Like, I'm just gonna be feeling shitty for the rest of my life, for the rest of the day, not the rest of my life, but for the rest of the day. Like, I'll just be feeling shitty. Like, we're so helpless.
It does feel like a bit of a different situation. Sorry. I've been wanting to cough for a second. Sorry. You can edit this part out.
You're still sick. It's still in there. Whatever's in your throat is still in there.
Yeah. It's still fighting.
It's it's feeling the alcohol, dude. It's like, what the fuck is this?
I hope it's dying.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that tastes like ass. Oh, that was like the last of the bottom of the orange juice. Okay. So, anyways, yeah. What are your thoughts on that? I'm just like wondering, like, to you, because you asked me, okay, is it normal or is it okay that all this is happening in Ukraine and there's people out there that are kind of just tuning it out, right? So I said it's normal, right? Like, what are your
Yeah, I
thoughts on
mean,
that?
it's got to be normal. I mean, there's only so much we can have on our minds at any given point throughout the
Uh-huh.
day, and we can be concerned about what's happening to the Ukrainians. We can be concerned that this could just be the beginning of something way worse.
Mm-hmm.
But we also have our daily concerns that we have to keep going forward with. And if you tune out some bad news from another country or something from outside of the country, it's probably because like that's as much as you can take right now, and
Mm-hmm.
I think that's okay.
Yeah. I also think it's because it's far.
Mm-hmm.
I think the closer it gets, the less we tune it out.
But
Right?
that's also what makes it scary, because what if we do just kind of tune it out and something bad does happen and we feel a little bit worse because it caught us off guard.
Dude, if this happened here, I don't like. I'm watching. So okay, so I'm gonna show you a video right now. So I was
Mm-hmm.
watching this. This dude made a homemade grenade launcher.
Where?
This is in Ukraine, right? This is testing a homemade grenade launcher, right? This is a Ukrainian making a home. I can't even change my tires, dude. I had to call 2 weeks ago. My tires were flat, and there were 3 of us in the car. 0 of us knew how to change the tires. I had to call AAA, and this dude is like testing a homemade, not something that he found in like a junkyard.
Mm-hmm.
A homemade grenade launcher. So this is what I watched, dude. This is rather than Batman, this is what I ended up watching.
Well, you're getting you're getting the majority of the action for sure.
Yeah, look at this. Look at this. Okay. You fucking look at this. This is crazy to me.
Давай, Вася.
What the fuck?
Is he okay? He just got.
He's fine. He's
He
like
got knocked over though. It's not usable.
yeah, well, it probably like it probably like flew away. He's probably gonna fix it. He's like, oh, I put too much salt. Or not
Okay,
salt, but
I totally get that you're impressed that he made that grenade launcher. However, it did also knock him back like 10 yards. So
okay.
I want to know the safety precautions that he's thought about with this grenade launcher, because it feels like it's going to hurt him and it's going to hurt whoever he's attacking.
This is crazy. Okay, look at this. Okay, so it's there. Okay, so I watched it again. He's holding it still, and he drops it, and it's still fine. But like, I can't even like start to think about how to make a grenade launcher. And it's not just that. There's like videos of people like jumping on tanks. Like Ukraine is like old Ukrainian lady like pointing at Russians. Like,
see, it's okay, because if you know enough people who are like that, you can just side with them when the apocalypse happens, and then they'll be the most resourceful people that you want to depend on.
Who do I know? Do you know someone who's like that? Do you know how many people do you know would go up to the Russians and go, no, go home. This isn't, or like throw seeds at them. This lady was throwing seeds. And I was like, how many people do you know? Like,
we promised we wouldn't name names anymore.
But do you know some people?
I feel like if I like really think about it, I could count it out, but I would eventually name someone. So
you can probably
I do know people who would be like that.
You can probably count in both hands, maybe one hand, right? At most both. But like, this is a whole country. Like, I'm just thinking, like, what if it happened here? Okay. If, like, let's say Russia invaded here, would you? I'd like to think that I'd be like, yeah, let's fucking burn this tank down, and like jumping on tanks or like throwing grenades.
If Russia attacked California.
If Russia attacked California, like let's say
which part of California?
Like our part, like let's say
what's our part? Because you're in Orange County.
Okay, so you're in San Jose. You're far away. He's in Northern California. I'm in Southern California. So let's say they attack all of California, right? Both Northern and Southern California. Would you be the person who like takes up arms and fights against the Russians?
I don't know. I feel like I'd rather run. If I'm being honest, I wouldn't fight the Russians.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like my GPA was high enough so I could like earn that privilege to like not be there.
Is that the cutoff? Oh, you have that 2.5. You have to fight.
Yeah, like I just got over the hump and got the bachelor's in science degree. So yeah, I feel like I maneuvered my way around that hypothetical.
How do you tell someone, Bryan, you gotta fight? Oh, I have a bachelor's. I can't. Like, you wave it around. I have a bachelor's in science. Sorry.
I know nothing about U.S. history, yet somehow I passed AP US. But what was the? Sorry, I just had to brag. So, what was the? We were just talking about what was the law? I'm trying. Let's keep talking. You
Jim
can
Crow?
edit this part out because I'm unsure about what we were just talking about.
You're talking about Jim Crow, huh?
Not Jim Crow. What were we just talking about?
We're talking about Russia.
Oh, the draft. How did the draft work?
Oh, the draft.
Yeah.
How did the draft work?
Yeah.
So I
know nothing about U.S. history, but I for sure do not know how the draft worked. In the other world wars, and when we had to take up arms like that, could that happen again today? I don't know, right? I've always heard the no. Like there would have been other.
I don't know. Maybe it could happen again today. I know we got rid of the draft. I know we didn't. Yeah, I know our standing army was very small, and when we went to World War I and II as a draft. But how did the draft work?
Like I have no idea. Besides the people who really were maimed or handicapped, like they wouldn't get called up.
So it's a lottery. It's like a lottery based
Right.
on your birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody born on February 28th? Fuck.
Somebody guesses the 29th. Like, oh damn, they really stuck that one in there.
Yeah. 28th/29th. Fuck. Yeah, that's so crazy. How the fuck do you do that? Like, do they announce it on television? Like the lotto ticket?
Was there television back then?
There was television back then. Oh yeah, I think so.
I don't know. I really don't know.
Or in the radio. I guess it's in the radio. Like, does the dude have like the spinny roll, the spinny thing with the balls in it, and it's like bingo?
Okay, now you're confusing like the actual like money lottery with the draft lottery.
But isn't that how it worked? Like,
okay, like I said, I have no idea how it worked. I just remember from an old show that I watched when the Vietnam War was happening in the context of that show, that it was something like an announcement on TV or the radio where they would say the numbers and it would be based on the person's birthday, and that's who got drafted and who got picked up to go to Vietnam. So it was random, but there was some kind of like code, like organization to it, not just completely random. It was by birthdays for sure, but there was something else to it.
Nobody got born on that day. Fuck. No, zero people got born.
Zero.
Yeah, dude. If I got drafted, oh god, I don't even know, dude. Can you imagine, like, getting a letter in the mail? You're like, oh man, letters that, like, right now you get letters in the mail.
We already talked about this. Like, I would just say nope, GPA. I would check the box that says nope, 2.5, little crocodile thing towards the 2.5, or no, higher than the 2. Away from the 2.5, so it's higher. And
I love how you think that when you get a draft card, there's like a little box where you can click no, you can check no, and it's like, what's your
please fill in the circle completely and don't fill in outside of the circle.
Yeah, dude, so, I don't think I'm built for war. Like, I literally don't think I'm built for like actual like fighting war.
Maybe not the foot soldier, but like, the commander. Because
we have GPAs that are pretty high, so we just press buttons. Oh, we're drone managers. Oh, there's a bunch of Russians over there. Let's drop it. Yeah,
I mean, war could eventually be that way, just all robotic, so nobody has to die.
Was that a movie?
I don't know.
Is that a movie? That sounds like a movie. If not, someone should.
Oh no, it was you know what it was? It was Godzilla.
Didn't the dude die in that movie?
Oh no, it was Pacific Rim.
Was it a different movie?
I'm just naming movies at this
point. Is it Godzilla? Oh, I thought you meant like Pacific Rim. I know it's kind of like, I know Pacific Rim is like that. By the way, great movie, Pacific Rim. I would recommend. That is the manliest movie you can ever watch. If your girlfriend doesn't like Pacific Rim, you should break up with her. That's my biggest suggestion there.
And then that would mean she was not really manly?
No, it just means no, shut the fuck up. Stop gaslighting me, dude. Stop making this. This is my point, and I know it's right. I know it's right. There's some
You
kernel of
just
truth
you,
here.
you just don't like hearing the outside perspective.
I don't like hearing like people, dude, people talking about our podcast. Luckily, I was very concerned about criticism because I really wanted to improve because that's just me. Like if I'm doing something, like I want to be good at it, right? But this one dude, man, and it was a random person too, and I really appreciated it, but it was cut me deep. And I was reading this while taking a shit because I was like, I do a lot of my studying and my work while I'm pooping. Instead, I poop.
You have a little like rollaway desk that
Yeah.
you
Well,
push
sometimes
away.
I'm just on my phone and then I put it on my knee. And dude, that's the worst part when you drop your phone on shitty water. Like it's happened. Not this phone. Not this phone is safe.
I refuse to believe you've ever dropped your phone in shit filled water.
I have. I actually have. I actually have at a bar. Not at home. Not even at home, dude. It was at a bar.
That sounds so painful that I don't want to believe it just
Yeah.
because it'll
No, it
hurt
was at
me.
a bar. I remember that. Oh, dude. You know some bars. So this is some bars are like their toilet is okay. And then some bars like their toilet looks like someone abused it. Like it looks like a crackhead
Okay,
type of
what's your
toilet.
question?
It's not a question.
I'm
This
just
one
making a
was a
point.
crackhead toilet. Like I dropped it. There's like pee, and it's not just my pee. It's like someone else's poo, and I'm pretty sure there was like someone else's cum and someone else's blood. And I'm like, what is going on? And it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I had to pick that up, and the water wasn't fucking working. Like the water for the fucking that was the worst. That was probably one of my worst nights ever. Just
Because of the
having to,
bathroom.
yeah, I had to turn off my phone and then put it on rice. No, I'm just kidding. Not put it on rice. It's fixed. No, I had to wash it outside. I had to wash it at a little fountain outside. It was disgusting. And I was on a date too. It was horrible. Can you imagine having to?
I don't know how we were talking about the war in Ukraine and that now
Yeah.
we've come all the way to
Okay,
this.
let's go back. Let's go back to the
Yeah.
war in Ukraine. Yeah, I'm just watching videos, dude, and it's like I'm just so I've always do you think you have a very big sense of like patriotism?
Um, in what sense?
Like, do you love? Would you defend America?
Yes. Only because
So that means the answer is you're going to go to war. If Russia invaded us, you'd go to war.
I wasn't thinking about it in a sense of like would I fight for the country. I was saying
Uh-huh.
like if somebody said America sucks, I would say no, actually, America doesn't.
So you have patriotism light.
It's a bit.
Yeah. Okay. You're like fair weather patriot.
I'm never gonna say I'm not a U.S. citizen.
That's not what I'm talking about. Like I'm wondering, like, would you
No, that's
fight
come on.
for your country?
Renouncing your citizenship is a big deal. Like if you
Okay,
burn your passport,
that's that's different. Burning your it's just a piece of paper. Like I carry my passport like right here all the time now because I don't have my driver's license.
some maybe not this episode, but some other episode, you should explain, or you should just tell the story about how you lost your wallet in Vegas and it's
And
finally
some
coming back
random
to you.
lady found it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
How
that's
many
a
years later?
huh?
How many years later?
Like 2 years later, dude. That was so weird. So it's been 2 years, and I'm not gonna answer that. I don't have my ID yet. Okay, I have my ID. I lose my wallet a lot. Okay, I lose my wallet a lot. Like that's
No,
that's
I feel. I feel.
that's the thing. I just lose my wallet a lot. Like there's no other excuse for it. Where unless like I think about it too, I'm like I'm not gonna lose it this time, and then the next day like I lose it somewhere stupid. Like I lost my wallet last time at the airport. Like the dumbest place to lose it in. I think it dropped. I think it dropped too because one of my jackets has a hole in it. I think it dropped. So that's why I was like, damn it. It was bad. It was bad because I had.
I think my worst experiences with losing wallets has always been either a church. It's always been when my parents are around, bro.
Mm,
It's always the worst possible time that it happens.
What does that mean? Like, what's the word? Okay, tell.
So the one time I took it to church, and then I just switched the name.
We should bleep that out. We should.
No, I'm just gonna restart. So it was that one time that I took all my Christmas money with me in my wallet. I took it to church, misplaced the wallet during the service, and then nobody could find it. And it ended up in a completely different part of the church. And then the wallet was empty.
Yeah.
So somebody found it, moved it, took all the money out, and then just left it there.
Yeah. I remember that.
That really sucked.
Yeah. How much was in it?
It was over 100, probably like close to 200, if anything.
That's Christmas money too. Oh, that's painful because that's right after Christmas. What psycho? What fucking asshole would?
I don't know.
Money.
I don't think I've said which church we go to, but yeah, we go to church, and somebody we go to church with did this. And it's creepy. It's not cool.
They left it too. Like they wanted you to know.
They left it in the patio, or like they changed the patio since then, but they left it on the little windowsill of the patio where the kitchen was. Everything else was in there, like, maybe gift cards or random receipts, my ID, I think, and all the money was gone, but they left everything else.
That's crazy. That's kind of crazy, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's bad because
there was a lot of robberies back then, and that's why they installed all those cameras.
There was a lot of things getting stolen back then. Oh, I know the guitar got stolen. Yeah, I know that.
Was another one.
The guitar got stolen, dude. That was intense. Because that was a nice guitar. That was a really nice guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one of the I can't. So I don't know how to play guitar. I just have this in the background for someone asked me, like,
you learned a little bit. You learned a little bit about playing guitar a while ago.
I learned like 3 chords from Arctic Monkeys because I wanted to be like whoever I don't remember the guy's name, but I wanted to be him.
Arctic Monkey #1.
Yeah, Arctic Monkey, the Arctic singer, monkey singer, and I was just, dude, I don't know what it was, but I was obsessed with that, and so that's why I have that guitar, because it would go. Now I have it for design and it looks cool.
I do play the guitar that's right behind me.
Yeah, you guys played the guitar.
That's the new one I just bought, and then my electric is over here next to me.
Yeah, you gotta play some. You gotta make a tune for us, dude. You gotta make.
Yeah, I'm supposed to write the jingle for our shows.
We can't. Okay, so someone said, "Is that the Incredibles theme song?" And I realized it is the Incredibles theme song, but the Incredibles theme song is just the shitty version of the James Bond theme song.
They're a little similar. Yes.
They're very similar. Someone thought it was the Incredibles theme. I was trying to do James Bond, but it was Incredibles. So
I probably didn't help by exaggerating the
yeah, we need to make a jingle. I think it'll flow.
It's gonna be something Johnny Cashy, right?
Johnny Cashy. Yes, Johnny Cashy. I could try it.
I'd like to hear that.
What is this? What?
I'd like to hear that.
Why does this sound like a chant? No. Yeah, dude. Yeah. That was, I remember when that happened. Going back to that, I remember when that happened because you guys were talking about it, and they did install stuff. They did install cameras. We couldn't even hook up at church anymore.
They knew.
They
knew every corner was tripwired.
What if that's the reason why they have cameras? They're like, man, our youth group is just fucking everywhere.
No, dude, it was for sure the fact that we were having so many thefts happening when there were a lot of people at church, and then when they stole the guitar also. For when we were growing up and like just being kids around church, they just had people like always like going around the corners, like making sure there was nobody hiding in the sanctuary or stuff like that. It was funny.
Oh, in terms of
Like
like
when we
kids
were
that
just when we were just kids, like like avoiding the service, like playing like in the back of the church, or
yeah.
when they'd already cleaned up everything, but like we would show up after and play like, or just like hang out in the sanctuary.
Yeah, well, okay, here's my thing. It's like everybody's surprised, but everybody shouldn't be surprised because what do you get when you put a bunch of like horny teenagers in a group together?
I was talking like just us hanging out, not specifically that we were all horny with each other, but
Yeah, but we
sure.
ended up because we grew up together. Like we all grew up together.
I feel like I will leave that part like untold.
Okay,
That'll
well,
just be within the groups.
let's say it untold. Let's say it untold, but it was a typical
Just remember who we share these podcasts with and who's going to be listening.
typical good old boys and girls liking each other. That's what happened.
Bunch of kids.
Bunch of kids. The pastor walked in on me making out with someone. I remember that. I remember that's that was kind of embarrassing.
Pastors. Wait, I don't know if it was this. Hopefully not the same pastor multiple times, but probably is. I'm sure they've all walked in at least once on teenagers being teenagers.
Do you know what
every pastor in the history of time?
And it wasn't just making out, dude. It was like I had my tongue out. It was really weird. I had my tongue out, and she was like going at my tongue, and I was like 16. We were both in our teens, right?
Are you sure these are the details you want to be sharing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have anybody. Like,
okay.
I'm right. Shingle. Yeah, I don't mind. Oh yeah, I don't give a fuck, dude. People already know this, but I don't think they know this story because the pastor walked in on me, and then I tried to push away, but like how do you push away when someone's sucking on your tongue? And then he goes, "Come on, guys." He wasn't even mad. He was just so disappointed.
Because it was his office, right?
It was outside his office, right outside, which was so stupid. Like, how do you think that you wouldn't get caught making out outside the pastor's office? Like, how do you not?
All the blood isn't going to the head you want it to be going to. Well, yeah. It is, but it's like there's nothing going on up here.
Different.
There's no logic. There's no reason. There's just goal.
There's just desire. There's just the want to spread your seed.
There's just lust.
Yeah, it was. That's crazy. Yeah. By the way, the whole like lust thing, like, it was pretty bad. Like your sense of reality just changes.
Mm-hmm.
This is also the reason why I don't have the discipline to be in the army, dude. I don't.
It all comes back to if we would go in the army or not.
Yeah, I do not have the discipline to be in the army. Like, I don't. Like, this is gonna sound really bad, but like I've been late for work because of sex. Like, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be fast. It's gonna be 15 minutes. I don't take 50. It's like a long time, right? There wasn't a brag. That was more of a complaint.
I wasn't applauding you.
I thought you were. Oh, so brave. So fucking brave. No, I don't have the discipline for that. Like I hear about dudes like doing that no nut November thing.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, even my sister was like, "Oh, you need to what is it called? What did she say? She said delayed gratification. You need to practice delayed gratification." I'm like, "Why do I need to practice delayed gratification?" She's like, "Oh, it's discipline, right?" I don't have the discipline. Do you? Do you have the discipline?
I would like to have that kind of discipline.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No.
I feel proud of myself. I feel more proud of myself if I did.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think so because you can't do it in the army.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do it in the army, dude. Like, yeah, no, and then I have to die the next day. Like, I'm not saying that being in the army is bad. Like, that's someone has to do it, but I don't think I can. I'm just gonna be real, dude. Like, I don't think I can.
we have the privilege of being able to like be in the situation where we think we have a choice, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
That's nice to
Sometimes
hold
we
on.
don't.
That's nice to hold on to, right? That's nice to have
Yeah,
compared to what the 1940s were probably like.
I can't. Yeah, this is why. Yeah, no, I wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't be able to live anywhere else. This is how comfortable this. By the way, this is how privileged I am as a human being living in the United States in 2022, that I can choose not to go to war. Like I can choose. Like I can choose to complain about my past, and you can't do this in Russia. Like you complain about the past in Russia, like you're.
If you complain about the war in Russia, you get arrested.
Oh, did they I've heard some stories. They're telling people that it's to save the Ukrainians.
Man,
That's so nuts to me, dude. That's so nuts to me. Like to support something like that, and because you don't know what's actually going on, and the whole world does. That's so wild. Like that's crazy to me.
did you hear about the Russian lady that went on to the TV set and put up her anti-war poster live on TV?
Oh, did she? She
Yeah,
get in trouble for that?
I'm sure she did. I just don't remember
We
if the
didn't
news.
hear from her again.
I just remember if the newscast was one where it was saying like anti-war, or
Mm,
if it was saying that like what the war actually is, and it was being honest with its broadcast.
mm,
Probably the first one where it was anti-war.
mm. Yeah, because didn't one of the like uh news studios, I guess is what you call them,
Mm-hmm.
like news, what are they called,
News studios, yeah.
news studios, they closed down like for good in Russia. It's all state owned now.
Mm.
There was an independent news radio station, and it closed down. They were getting a lot of views because they were reporting, what's actually going on. You
Mm-hmm.
know, see, I don't think these whole like sanctions are gonna work.
It's been what, a couple of weeks now since the latest sanction happened,
Yeah,
right? What
I
else
don't.
what else has changed?
Nothing. It's
Nothing,
it's
right?
gotten worse, dude. It's gotten worse. Yeah, people are like making grenade launchers and failing at making grenade launchers. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't think people understand. Like, because people are like, oh, we're gonna put sanctions on Putin, dude. There was probably someone in that room when Putin was like, we're gonna declare war on Ukraine. There's probably someone in that room saying, dude, you're gonna get sanctions, right? Like this. They probably went through the worst case scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
So going through the worst case scenarios and knowing the worst case scenarios and still doing it, like, why did we ever expect like it's gonna do something? Do you know what I mean?
Do you feel like in wars of the past we were more ready than we are now to start like to just enter conflict?
To enter conflict right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
dude, I don't know.
Willingly. Do you think the willingness to do that is high or low compared to back then?
Oh, it's always, dude. No one's ever ready for war. It's always
Okay.
low.
So that being considered, I don't know. Like, is there anything that he could have been excited about? Like, is there anything he could have been like looking forward to besides like going through all of this?
Who, Putin?
Yeah, like what's like you and I have you and I have talked about what is his like ultimate goal? Like, what is his main goal? And it seems like everything that we thought was probably going to happen, except for Ukraine standing up for itself as much as it has so far. That's
Mm-hmm.
all. I think that's been a factual surprise, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
that was really surprising because I expected Russia to like roll through that in like 2 days.
So, what do you think Putin's ultimate goal is, and do you think that goal has somehow changed since the start of the invasion?
I don't think it's changed, dude. I think he's Yeah, I don't think it's changed. I think he's really surprised that the Ukrainians are holding out, but I think his main goal is still, you know,
How have they not killed how have they not killed Zelensky yet? I know that's a very extreme thing to say, but how have they not killed him yet? I feel like a power like Russia should be able to do it, in a timely manner. And now that I want it, obviously, but how has it not happened yet?
he was an actor, he was a dancer. This guy is like, he is literally like a comedian president. Like he's a I'm looking for the video where he's talking about spring and he just winks at the camera. Like he winks at the camera and there's like, you can see that like the place has been bombed. Here, I'll show this to you. I'm gonna show this to you right now. This is why I think Putin didn't expect this. This guy right here.
Пішов сніг. Ось така весна. Ну, яка війна, така й весна. Сумора. Але все буде нормально. Всіх переможемо.
Like he didn't. That was very inspirational already. But then he adds the wink. Like this.
It's a very charismatic guy.
This dude is playing chess and everyone's playing checkers, dude. This dude is on a whole nother level.
What do you think? I mean, what do you think it's going to take for more world not interference, cooperation against Russia? Like, what's the next big step that would cause another country to be involved?
Okay, so I was thinking about that. A few days ago. Like, what would it take for more countries to be involved? I don't know. I think it has to take a lot. Like, okay, when did the U.S. enter World War II?
I don't know off the top of my head.
When they bombed Pearl Harbor.
Now I feel really stupid for not answering that right away.
You're good. I mean, it's weird because like we were giving.
No, you're 100% right. Like that's like, I'm sure we've been like giving out like our own opinions, just vocally. Yeah. But that was the first time we actually got involved in some kind of slaughter and warfare.
Yeah, that was when we like got involved in World War II. Because we knew what was going on in Europe. But then people would like talk about, it's not a problem. It's like that lady getting beaten out. It's not a problem. Like people would look and be like, oh no. Right. But and the thing is, people were more reactive then than they are now to those things. Like people were used to war then, right? There was,
I don't know. I don't know about that. I feel like because social media and the internet has us so well informed now compared to the 1940s when World War II happened, because we see so much that's happening now, we're way more on edge. We're way more like aware of everything that's happening. And sometimes we talked about, is it okay to tune out some of that stuff? Sometimes it's hard to tune that out because this is something that could really affect everybody across the globe.
Yeah. Well, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see what you're saying, that we're more like in tune, or I guess we know more about what's happening.
And to echo what you said, because we're more aware, we are more reactive.
Yeah, okay.
Because a reaction now is just a comment.
So I guess what I was trying to say is that we're more against war now, like just the concept of war in general, than we were back then.
I think so.
Yeah. Right. And I mean, that's, like we don't want war. Like everybody doesn't want war. So if it took that much for us to go to war in World War II, I can only imagine what it would take for us to go to war now, or to enter any conflict now. I think we're so averse to war.
Geographically, it makes more sense for them to attack the West Coast first rather than the East Coast, right?
Yeah. Oh, because Russia is right next to Alaska. Remember Sarah Palin Oh, I can wave. What does she say?
I can see Russia from my house.
I can see Russia from my house. Oh, hi, Mr. Putin. She has that accent. And they made a porno. They made a porno of Sarah Palin. Do you know about that?
No.
It's called Nailin' Palin. That was the porno when she was running for vice president, I guess. It was called Nailin' Palin, and it was big, dude. Not saying that I watched it. I've seen like the image of it.
I don't know. It sounds like you're a big fan.
I'm not a big fan of Nailin' Palin. It was bad acting. It wasn't even good actors. It didn't even look like her. But I didn't watch it. It didn't even look like her. It didn't look like Putin. It didn't look like any Russian accent.
Her accent was off for like half of the movie, but I didn't see it. It's like
I didn't see the red sheets and then the hammer and sickle in the back. I didn't see it though.
John McCain didn't even make an appearance, but I didn't see it.
Wait, I'm trying to think now. I did see it. Okay, now cat's out of the bag. I saw Nailin' Palin. That was my hey.
You had us all
heyday.
convinced up until that point.
Heyday for internet porn. Yeah, those looking at famous porn. Now you just look at weird stuff.
Nobody wants to know.
Yeah, let's stop it there. But yeah, like I'm just wondering, like going back to what we were talking about, how much more it would take for us to actually go to war now, or to enter any conflict now.
I don't know if a complete takeover of Ukraine is enough. I do think that any attack on the West Coast is going to be enough.
I think if they attack any part of the United States, I think we would retaliate.
Mm-hmm.
Something needs to happen, dude. These gas prices are fucking insane. These gas prices are. I've never thought. I was talking to someone this morning. I was over breakfast, and I was talking to them about how gas prices. It takes this person. I'm not going to say their name. It takes them $1,200 now to fill up their tank because they drive a lot. And they
wait. Why is it?
So it used to be $700, right? When to fill up their tank, because they would travel like across the
what kind of truck?
California.
What kind of truck?
I think it's like a pickup, like a big pickup truck. It hauls.
I'll let you. Oh, sorry, I don't want to keep interrupting, but that sounds like a lot of money for a gas tank.
The dude's rich, the dude's rich. But it's $700. It used to be $700, which by the way is already a lot for gas.
Yeah.
But now it's $1,200 to do that same trip.
That's a stimmy.
That's a stimmy. Oh,
yeah.
Those stimmies. Did you get your stimmy yet? Oh, you got your stimmy? Oh no, my last name's Y. I get my stimmy like next week. Yeah, it's a stimulus package to fill up a truck, on a trip that used to cost $700. That's just wild to me. It's something needs to be done. Something needs to happen.
Somebody needs to be assassinated. I think that'll get things
I think we
going.
can say that. I don't want to say that. And then like some Russian dude knock on my door. Did you say assassination in your podcast? I'm like, oh shit, we're big in Russia. I think that's my first reaction. If someone said, did you say assassination?
Yes, the boys on the edge. Yes.
Can you imagine? It's actually really big. Like all the Russians like watch it. But it doesn't register on our YouTube because of like what's going on right now. So they don't count the views. Man.
Well, can you get a whole Dave Skylark situation going?
Wait, isn't that
from the interview with James Franco?
Oh, dude, I don't know why when you said Dave Skylark, I thought of the show, the Fairly Odd Parents. His name is Chip Skylark.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't think Chip Skylark. I don't think that was ever an episode of Fairly Odd Parents where
they negotiate with Russia.
My shiny teeth and me, shiny teeth. Don't invade Ukraine. Be like that girl who made a poem for Putin.
No.
And she talked. I didn't even watch it, dude. It was too much. It was too cringe for me. It was too much. I was yeah, she was talking about how he wasn't hugged. I'm like, dude, I'm pretty sure Putin was hugged. I think he's just a mass murderer. I think he's just crazy. And she was like, I would hug you if I were your mom. I'm like, dude, I know you're hot, but I don't think Putin cares.